everyone, welcome to VTeach. Today in this session we are going to discuss the remaining parts of the first unit, that is frequency reuse. So coming into this topic, frequency reuse. In this frequency reuse we are going to discuss about cell and next one is cluster. So these are the two basic concepts we are going to discuss in this frequency reuse. Going to this process, I just want to give a clarity about what is a frequency and why we are using frequency and how we are going to use this frequency by multiple users and multiple times. Okay, so before that, communication needs to be done properly. That means the clarity, that means the transmission side information needs to be delivered to the receiver side clearly. So that information will be delivered clearly without any interference by many of the reasons. So among those reasons, this is the one where we can provide effective network, effective communication to the subscribers. Okay, from in this topic, each cellular base station is allocated a group of radio channels within a small geographic area which is called as cell. So this is nothing but we have, in order to establish a communication between any two subscribers or any two points or any two devices. Say for example, A is a subscriber who needs to establish a communication between subscriber B. So A is a subscriber who is waiting in order to establish a communication between user B and A. So we need to establish a communication by using one transmission line and one receiving line along with some data lines. So in order to establish this communication, we need to check whether A is in which cell and B is in which cell. So cell is nothing but the geographical area, a limited geographical area where the radio waves can be transmitted. So this type of structure is known as a cell, and neighboring cells are assigned different channel groups. So each cell may be in different types of groups. That cell may be in a neighboring group, or that cell may be in adjacent group. So whatever the position it may be, the cells, each and every cell will be attached nearly in a particular geographical area. And by limiting the coverage area within the boundary of the cell, the channel groups may be reused to cover different cells. So, in order to establish a perfect communication, we need to keep the interference levels very limited. That means it should be maintained. These interference levels should maintain as low as possible. And frequency reuse can also be known as frequency planning. So, frequency reuse techniques can also be defined as frequency planning. So here, for example, we are taking n number of cells, and in this we are considering n is equals to 7. That means 7 number of cells are established in between each and every geographical area. Say for example, this is one geographical area. In this geographical area, we are establishing some type of cells, and number of cells which are having here in order to construct the area is nothing but 7. So n is equals to 7, and those 7 channels are named as A to G. That means the first n is equals to 7, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cells are there. This is cell 1. Cell 2, cell 3, cell 4, cell 5, cell 6, cell 7. Cell 1 is named as A, cell 2 is named as B, cell 3 is named as C, cell 4 is named as D, E, F and G. So guys, clearly note these points. So n is equals to 7. So we have named the 7 cells as A, B, C, D, E, F and G. So here we have taken the 7 groups of channels from A to 7. And next we are declaring a point called footprint of a cell. So how we have declared this footprint of a cell? The footprint is nothing but the area coverage by a radio signal. What is that? The radio signal, which area of how much area it can cover, that is known as a footprint. And next we have antennas. Two types of antennas. As we discussed in earlier classes, each and every cell, each and every base station needs to have some type of antenna, and that antennas may be any of the types depending upon the requirement. And now here we are considering two types of antennas, omnidirectional antenna versus directional antenna. So these two types of antennas are used here. And next so consider this figure, and in this figure, as discussed earlier, the value of number of cells is 7. So the number of 7 cells are named as capital A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Clear? So now consider this figure. Here we have cell A, and this cell A is attached with the neighboring cell B, and this B is attached with the neighboring cell C, and it is attached with the neighboring cell D, and it is attached with the cell E, and again it is attached with F, again it is attached with G. So total how many number of cells we have constructed here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So total 7 number of cells are attached to each other either adjacently or neighboringly. And again, see here, the attachment or a group of cells which are combined or which are constructed beside is called a cluster. That means, see here, this is a cluster. So this outer coverage area is known as cluster. So guys, now how can we define this term cluster? Cluster is nothing but the collection or a group of cells combined or a group of cells connected neighboringly or adjacently in a group is known as cluster. Clear? So now like this, different number of cells are here we have attached neighboringly, and these cells are, this is a one cluster. Clearly you can see the shape of the cluster. Now I am drawing the outline of one cluster. So in that outer inside this boundary lines we have different number of cells combined each other. So here this is one cluster, and now I am drawing the second cluster. Clearly observe the shape of the clusters, how I am drawing. So this is the shape of another cluster naming 2, and again the shape of another cluster, this is the cluster 3. So if you observe carefully in this diagram, cluster 1 having the cells D, E, F, these cells are commonly used for cluster 2 as well as cluster 3, right? So here in cluster 2 also it is using this same cells, right? This is using here, this is using here, and this is using here, and this is using here. So one cluster is having the common cells, that cells are commonly used by different clusters as well. So that means each and every cell consists of some type of frequency in order to transmit the signal or receive the signal, right? So that frequency is reused by neighboring clusters as well. So this concept is frequency reuse. Alright guys, now we are entering into the calculation part. So considering the cellular system which has total S duplex channels. As we all know that what is a duplex communication? The duplex communication is nothing but the transmission session and receiving session at the same time in the same single unit. That is nothing but duplex channels. So each cell is allocated a group of K channels. So observe clearly, we are mentioning that the cellular system has total S duplex channels. That means S number of transmission lines and S number of receiving lines, and each cell is allotted a group of K channels. So now we are taking the condition that K should always be less than S. That means each cell allocated a group of K channels, right? So these K channels must be, the number of K channels must be less than always S number of duplexers. Fine. And next we are considering the S channels are division. So these S channels are divided among the capital N number of cells. Next, the total number of available radio channels now in order to establish a communication is given as capital S is equals to capital K into N, where K is equals to allocated group channels and n is equals to number of cells. Clear? And now the n number of cells which are used in order to complete the set of channels are known as clusters. What we have discussed before, the n cells which uses for the completion set of channels is called a cluster. And next, the cluster can be repeated m times. For example, the cluster can be repeated for m times within the system. Then the total number of channels allotted are C, and this C is used as a measure of capacity. What is the measure of capacity? Measure of capacity is nothing but how many times the frequency is reused and how many members are using the same frequency. That measure is nothing but capacity of measurement. And this formula is given by C is equals to M into K into N, where M is equals to measurement, cluster repetition measurement, and K is equals to group of channels, and N is equals to number of cells. And next, we are replacing this K into N with this formula we have in before, S is equals to K into N. So now replacing this K into N with S, then the equation becomes C is equals to M into S. So this is the equation which is used in order to measure the capacity. Alright. So next point we are coming to is the capacity is directly proportional to number of replications. So here M is nothing but repetitions, right? So these repetitions will be directly proportional to the capacity. And next, the cluster size capital N is typically equals to, that means the size of the cluster needs to be maintained as 4, 7 or 12. So capital N is equals to 4, capital N is equals to 7 or capital N is equals to 12. Only these three measurement needs to be maintained. And next, small capital N is desirable to maximize the capacity. That means as the value of N decreases, that means the value of N decreases, then there is a chance of capacity increasing. That means if the number of cells reduces, then the size of the cluster will be reduced. So if the cluster size reduces, then the number of subscribers or number of users decreases. Then we can handle more number of communication signals so that we can establish many networks between many two users. Fine. And next, the frequency reuse factor is given by 1 by capital N. So how we have taken this means capital T. As we all know that F is equals to 1 by T. We have T is equals to capital N. Then F is equals to 1 by capital N. Okay. So this is the topic. And next we are moving to the next points, that is hexagonal geometry. What is hexagonal geometry? So as we discussed in earlier classes, the geographical area we have designed is three types. One is ideal model, real time, and next one is designed model. So this is a hexagonal shape, and ideal one is circular shape, and real one has no shape. So this is a designed model, hexagonal one, and in ideally we have the plan of circular one, and currently in real time we are using the unshaped cells. So moving to the hexagonal shaped cells, these exactly 6 equidistant neighbors should be there. So each and every hexagonal shaped cell needs to have 6 hexagonal shaped cells attached neighboringly. That means C here be extended. So for example, if you consider this figure, this is the cell and it is going to be attached with different hexagonal shaped cells. Like this, we need to have 6 number of hexagonal cells attached to one cell. Okay. And next, the lines joining the centers of each cell and each of its neighbors are separated by multiples of 60 degrees. If we consider this figure, In this figure, we have A. A is the center point or center cell which we have, and from this cell, we are going to interconnect different cells by using this connector line, and through this connector line, we are having the interconnection between any two clusters or interconnection to any multiple clusters. So, in this line, from the middle cluster to it is going to connect to the forever cluster, right? So, through a single line, that single line is going through different clusters separating with an angle of 60 degrees. Fine. If you consider this, the angle will be 60 degrees. If you consider this, the angle will be 60 degrees. So, by using an angle of 60 degrees, it is separating the multiple number of cells. Okay, next, it only has certain cluster sizes and cell layouts. That means only certain shape, certain size and certain capacity of cells are possible. And next, the number of cells per cluster is capital N. Can only have the values which satisfies capital N is equals to I square plus Ij plus J square. So, what is this Ij? What is the terms defined in Ij in this above equation? So, N is nothing but number of cells and I is nothing but the neighboring co-channel particulars. So, by using the co-channel particulars, we are also calculating the number of or the capacity of cell. So, N is equals to I square plus Ij plus J square. Thank you everyone.